This episode is presented by Visit Cedar City Bryan Head Tourism Bureau. Discover the art of adventure at Utah's gateway to the parks. Cedar City is within a few hours' drive from 6 different national parks and monuments, and only 30 minutes from fresh snow at Bryan Head Resort. Check out visitcedarcity.com to plan your next trip. This episode is sponsored by the Cedar City Business and Innovation Center. Dedicated to supporting local businesses and entrepreneurs, it provides resources and services aimed at fostering business creation, growth, and retention. To learn more and get involved, visit innovationcenter.cc. Hello and welcome to the Explore Local podcast presented by Visit Cedar City Bryan Head in partnership with Cedar City Iron County Economic Development, produced by Dallas Smith Media, and I'm your host, David Johnson. Okay, today we have Derek Bryan, who's with SUU Outdoors. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and I've been actually really eager to get you on the podcast because here in Cedar City and Iron County, we are just known for all of our outdoors activities, and that's actually quite a draw for a lot of students who come to Southern Utah University. Can you just give kind of the high level of what is SUU Outdoors and why you exist? And then we can dive into kind of the nitty-gritty details of programs and other things later.
Sure. Yeah, SUU's our outdoor program is designed as... like you said, a lot of our students are coming to Southern Utah for the recreational and natural resources that we have around the university. And SUU's SUU Outdoors is somewhat of a catalyst for the students to be able to bring them to these wild places, these beautiful places that they're coming for. So the programming we have is designed for the new user, but also the experienced. So it's kind of all over. We're trying to be able to snuff out you have to be an outdoorsy person to be able to come play with us. That's not our intent. We want to be able to get new users and people that have never been to these beautiful places that a lot of people come all over the world for. Yeah. And our intent is to be able to get them outside, and albeit for a moment away from the academic rigor, to let them know that there's more to your education than just schooling. So. Yeah.
It's interesting when you say that the new kind of user, because I've always been an outdoors person.
Sure.
Eagle Scout, hiking, mountain biking, climbing, you name it. But until I moved to Utah, because I grew up in the military, so I was always in deserts somewhere on a military base.
Sure.
Or up in northwestern United States where there was a lot of mountains and hiking and things. But I had never been skiing, I think, until I was 21 or 22. Never skied or snowboard.
Yeah.
Started snowboarding, and if, I'm sure but anyone who knows anything about snowboarding, your first few times, you pretty much just roll down the mountain trying to figure out how not to catch an edge,
sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And then my family, they always would go to Alta skiing, so I started taking up skiing, and I realized, skiing is easier on my body.
Yeah.
And so I took up skiing, and honestly, skiing is one of my all-time favorite sports. And I didn't even get introduced to it until I was in my 20s in college.
Yeah.
And I'm in my 40s now, out there hitting it like I think I'm in my 20s.
Right. Sure.
Yeah, it's just become one of my it's become one of my favorite sports. And so there's no shame in never having done an outdoor activity and saying, hey, maybe I might give this a whirl. I don't know if you see students that kind of have that experience.
Sure, yeah. And we try to be able to live that kind of the motto, the SU motto of like learning lives forever, and that concept of where the cup is always empty, right? We want to be able to keep learning and trying new things and challenging ourselves. There's been a lot. It's been rewarding for me personally, being able to see a lot of students come in and they've never been river rafting or they've never been skiing, like you said, or any of these other venues or activities that we do, and be able to see them through their tenure kind of grow into whether it's a leadership program that we have, or if it's like a developmental, or even if they're not working with SUU Outdoors but they're coming on the trips. It's been really cool to be able to see them develop, or maybe not be really good at it, but they're still enthusiastic and they're really getting into it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a few students that come to mind that I've been able to see over the years that they first started with us on a rafting trip, and now they're on the world doing a lot of what we do as administrators, and we're going on to really exciting job opportunities, career opportunities that are, and they're thriving. It's awesome to see.
Yeah. I often retrospectively look back and, you think about, if I would have done something different. And one of the things I would have definitely done different, or would have at least explored more, was I had no idea about SUU. And I had no idea that I was just so focused on getting my degree, getting my job, starting family, all the milestones you're supposed to do. I didn't even really look outside the world of, going and being a river raft guide, or, coming somewhere like SUU where you could just enjoy all these outdoor experiences.
Right.
And that's one of the things that I really love about living here now. Yeah. Because as I've gotten older, my eyes have been opened that not everything is just boom, 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 life milestones. You balance out your quality of life with some of these recreational activities.
Sure. I think we fall trapped to that. Everyone does. I mean, and particularly the students, I think they might have that zone of getting in and being like, okay, I got to be able to get my rigor, the academic rigor in, and get my classes, get good grades, and those are good. Those are good things, right? We want to be able to make sure we're successful in that regard. But like you said, I think there's a good balance, and I wouldn't even use the word balance, but to prioritize our well-being over that rigor, and that's part of it. Like it's the equation of it. I think it's good to be able to try new things, to do hard things, but to be able to prioritize our well-being, and to be able to make sure that we're enjoying what we're doing, and not just grind. And I mean, that takes away from that college experience, that university experience, where we're trying to be able to connect with others, with people, and with place, and with purpose. And that's kind of the mission of what we do, is we're trying to be able to get folks outside, but not just outside to venues to be able to enjoy. It's kind of like the edutainment kind of concept we're trying to get across, but also allowing them to be able to have some yin to the yang of the academic rigor and the responsibilities that they have and the pressures they have, whether it's perceived or real. Yeah. And to be able to allow them to be able, and to show them that you don't have to just grind for 3 to 4 years. It doesn't have to be like, get out, and it's okay to, you don't, you can do this, but you can do this in a way that's enjoyable too.
Well, and really a way that's balanced. And that's one thing that I tell my kids, not to go off on too much of a digression about this, but I always tell my kids, I want you to work your hardest and shoot for an A, because I know you're capable. But if you are giving it your absolute best, and the best you get is a B-, and you've given it your all and you're balancing things out, I'm okay with that.
Sure.
And my kids, they get A's primarily. And there is something to be said, just like any parent, you have to like get on them. And in college students, same thing. You have to set time aside. Well, did you study for this test? Well, I kind of went through the study guide. Well, you should probably study for like 3 hours for that test. But the reason why I'm going off on this tangent is I remember in college so often, and I was adjunct professor for some other universities before moving here. And I fell trapped to this, and I found my students fell trapped to this when I taught adjunct, of all they're shooting for is the A. They're not even absorbing the content. They're not even learning, because they're just checking off the boxes that allow them to get the A. And that's kind of my point to my kids, is I'd rather you be doing extracurricular things, balancing your life, and actually learning and absorbing than just checking off the boxes to get the A. And when I was adjunct professor, I saw so many students that would get so stressed about getting that A to the nth degree, and I would have to say, you know what, it's okay, pull back. Yeah. And that's what I actually love, and that's what I was getting about retrospectively. I wish I would have known about more of that balance of, it's okay to balance it with these extracurricular things. So your background, you had mentioned to me before the podcast, is in education.
Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about that background and how long have you been doing SUU Outdoors?
In this position, 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
And so talk to me about your education background and career and what led you to SUU Outdoors. And then I kind of want to circle back about more kind of on the balance and the benefits of these outdoor activities.
Sure, yeah. So my experience with outdoor education, experiential education, started when I was pretty young. I backpacked a lot with just local leaders and friends. It was more so, it wasn't connected with, it started out with Boy Scouts sort of, but I didn't really enjoy the Boy Scout experience.
Sure,
but
yeah.
I had great leaders and great neighbors that took us backpacking. A lot of miles backpacking. And that was where my love of the outdoors was, or where it started rather. Formally though, I was kind of a non-trad student. My early 20s, I was a river guide for a lot of years, about 8 years or so. Both my wife and I, we guided rivers during the summer seasons, and then we were kind of gypsies. We kind of traveled all over, so we guided for the summers, and then we'd flip a coin and be like, let's live here, let's go here. And awesome. But it was a really great experience to be able to have those experiences, to be able to kind of travel on the whole West Coast, and a lot of fun experiences that way. But I also worked with a lot of different agencies. Worked for the Forest Service, the state parks, for private guiding, like I mentioned. And then I met a few folks. My wife was actually studying up at the University of Utah in their outdoor education program, and that's kind of where I would pick her up from class, and I met a lot of the professors who are good friends to this day of just kind of picked up on kind of the tail end of the classes, and I'm like, they were kind of putting words to what I was already doing, and kind of formalizing things, and then they talked about, you can do this as a profession, and I found out you can actually, get compensated for this more than like a river guide would, right? And so, albeit in outdoor education, it's not much, but it's more of a quality of life versus a quantity of life, and that's what we were really seeking after. So there was some pivotal people in my life who are dear to me, and kind of set me in a good trajectory. It was when SUU started their the very first year they did the outdoor recreation, parks and tourism degree. A good friend of mine, we had some mutual friends, and we were talking about education. I'm like, I don't really, higher education really isn't, I wasn't interested in. But the more and more we talked about it, and the more I was kind of gleaning from what my wife was experiencing, I'm like, okay, let's give it a try. And so she invited me down to be kind of one of the first guinea pigs of the program.
Wow, that's cool.
And it was great. It was a great experience.
About what year was that going on?
This was 2006-ish. I think it was 2005, I think. 5 or 6, between that time somewhere. That's when they started that new program. But and it's really cool to be able to see where it was and where it is now. We have great leadership, great instructors, great professors that are in that outdoor education program at the university. Dear friends, and just quality people that have a wealth of knowledge to be able to share with our students. So from there, I graduated from SUU.
In outdoor education?
In outdoor recreation, parks and tourism.
Yeah.
I was one of the first few that were able to do that. And then from there, I worked with the city for a little while, and found out it wasn't my cup of tea. And it was a lot of my experience was kind of going down roads and trying to be able to see if that was the glue that would stick.
Right, yeah.
And not that it was necessarily a bad experience. Some of it was not so much fun, but it was good, bad experiences.
Well, that's kind of why they tell college kids, go do internships to kind of test out, is this the avenue you want to take with that, or is that the avenue?
Right, and that's kind of what I was doing. And tried that out. Eventually, I had a very dear friend of mine, and the whole time during my undergrad, she'd be like, you need to go to grad school. You need to go to grad school. You're asking the right questions for that. And I didn't listen to her. And then finally I listened to her, and grad school was amazing. We went back east to New Hampshire at Plymouth State University, and had a very enriching experience there, and just with really good, like-minded people, great mentors. Just an amazing experience for both me and my family. Very experiential. It was awesome. Long story short, we came back to Cedar City, and through a series of connections and being able to work with really good local people, was able to connect with, do some kind of adjunct work in between. We went away for a little while. I did another position down in New Mexico, similar to what I'm doing now at another college, and that was a great experience as well. Ultimately, we came back, and the stars kind of aligned in a way. I have a lot of debt and gratitude to some good mentors, and I don't mind. I hope they don't mind me naming their names. But,
oh yeah, please.
Ann Smith was
sure.
a great mentor to me during my undergrad, and still is a dear friend, good friend. Bridget Eastep was very catalytic with me going to grad school, and obviously a dear friend as well. And a lot of the folks that I work with right now as well. Bryan Fullerton is our executive director in our campus recreation. He's a great guy. Just good people I work with. They're just really good. So being able to come back to Cedar City and kind of give back in a way.
Yeah.
I had worked with SUU Outdoors, obviously when it was first blossoming. Worked with Ann Smith. She was the coordinator at the time. And then worked with a couple others that served as directors and coordinators for SUU Outdoors through the years. And then it's kind of full circle to be able to, and I do teach a little bit on this side with the ORPT program, so it's kind of full circle, and I feel like I'm keyed in a good position to give back and to be able to develop it even further but at the same time still paying homage to those folks that I certainly stand on their shoulders. They were pioneering of the outdoor rec program as well as the SUU Outdoors. So
that is so cool.
It's an awesome experience, and I feel very honored to be able to be in this position, to be able to connect students with place and with people, and it's rewarding for me to be able to see these students grow and to be able to develop and
that's awesome.
And be outside with them.
You said full circle, and that's what I was thinking the whole time. Like when you first mentioned that you were part of kind of that first was it the first cohort for the outdoor recreation?
Right, yeah.
To go from that first cohort to now be the director of SUU Outdoors, to me, just hearing that, I'm like, that is so cool and so full circle. What an amazing experience. Okay, so there's a couple random digressive avenues I want to go. First, I want to hear about cool outdoors experience when you were guiding and doing those things. I'm going to bug you about, well, then how did you and your wife meet? Because you alluded to some of that.
Oh, that's a long story.
And then maybe some of your favorites around here. Because if you go to the SUU Outdoors page, there's some cool videos. And they talk about within 5 hours, we have access to over 20 different parks.
Sure.
And we're known as the University of the Parks, right?
Yes, yeah.
And that is just awesome. Nobody really has that shtick genuinely. Others can maybe try to claim it, but SUU just really has it, which I'm actually so surprised that the outdoor recreation program didn't start until 2005, 2006-ish. I would have thought it had been going for decades.
Yeah.
So it's so interesting to me, and it seems obvious that program needs to be at SUU.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so let me dive into some of my digressions. First, actually, and you don't have to spend too long on it. So when in all of that career background did you and your wife meet? Did you meet like on a river trip, or how did that? It just sounds like you guys were like at the top of Mount Fuji and locked eyes or something.
Yeah, no, it was more dramatic, I guess, in that way. But we actually met a long time ago in high school. Both of us were on the swim teams for our respective.
Oh, really?
For our respective cities we were living in, and we were just good friends. We had met at a after swimming meet party sort of thing, and we became like pen pals. This is when you had to use paper and pencil to be able to use mail and stuff like that. I'm not trying to date myself here, but yeah, it was.
I do know that era.
Yeah, but we were kind of pen pals a little bit on that. We'd ride each other a couple of times, just buds. I mean, there was no, any of that. But we'd run into each other in the most random spots, though, and that's really what was unique about it, I guess, is that we'd run into each other in the middle of the desert.
Like on a hike or something?
Yeah, a good friend of mine. We were down climbing a Zion this one time, and we saw her on a trail. We were down canyoneering in another random place in southern Utah, and we ran into her there. I was backpacking another distance, that's up in northern Utah, and ran into her there. And finally, after this long story short, there's other events that happened, but finally I was in an outdoor shop up north, and she was going up to the U for school, and she was on the other side of the aisle. I'm like, hey, how's it going? Good to see you. Like we kind of reconnected. And I finally got her number, and then I lost the number, and I had a good friend of mine from high school was taking class with her. Anyway, we connected, started dating. We said, hey, well, maybe we should make this work because it seems like we're kind of running each other. Let's hang out.
It's like the fates are aligning every time. That's right, yeah. Well, when you're out hiking in the middle of the desert and you run into a girl that you had some interest in, it's almost destiny that you just run into them on some backpacking or hiking trip. And that is, it may not have been Mount Fuji, but that's actually what I envisioned your description of you two just running into each other, just kind of the way you were alluding to things. And then talking about how she was in an outdoor rec program at the U. So did you guys end up doing river guides together on different trips then? Yeah,
so we worked for a company in south central Utah. We ran up, we were running mainly the Green River. We did some sections of the Cedar, or the daily of the Cedar, and then some over on Moab on the daily over there as well. But we guided together for probably the first 5 or 6 years with this particular company, and then we started when we started our family. She couldn't guide as much, and so she'd still come, and she'd take some of the backpacking trips, even with the kiddos. And
that's awesome.
But we mainly did the river guiding for about 7-8 years, and it was really enriching for us. It was awesome to be able to have the experience, and again, like I said before, just being able to to do that during the summers, and then kind of be gypsies for after that, and just not the most responsible model, I'm sure, but it was still a great experience.
Memorable model.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it was great.
You know what's funny is my wife grew up in Utah, and I grew up in the military, so I kind of lived a lot of different places. But there was a time during our marriage where we moved to Florida for just a couple years.
Yeah.
And our goal when we were there was to explore everything we could, because we didn't know, it was kind of, my career was starting to take off, and you don't know how long you're going to stay in a place. And so we explored the heck out of Florida.
Yeah.
And beaches, everything. And neither of us had really known beaches and everything. But then as fate had it, we came back to Utah, and we both had this epiphany that we hadn't explored even a fraction of Utah the way we had explored Florida. And then all of a sudden we just went gangbusters and started exploring everything with our kids, and we would hike, and we would go to these slots. And one time we had my son, he was like 2 or 3. He's probably 3, and we kept checking. Okay, he's got shoes, right? Yeah, he's got shoes. And we get there. Oh, I left his shoes, and all he had were these like Spider-Man, like Payless sandals.
Good enough.
And and so we start hiking through these slots, and they kept falling off. So we're like, between these slots, it's nice, soft, cool sand. So we took off his sandals, and from there we always called him the barefoot baby.
Yeah.
And we'd carry him at different sections and stuff. But going through these slots, we have these little videos of him. It was amazing, and we thought, why have we not done this sooner, earlier? Because we've always been outdoorsy, but just, again, that kind of rigid kind of life, of going to school, starting family, doing all these things. And anyway, so in a way, I'm a little envious of kind of your tale. And what I'm curious about now, I want to dive into, and it doesn't have to be Utah, because I do want to dive into this area as well.
Sure.
But of the guiding trips you've done, or those adventures, the flipping the coin, where should we go? What are some of your favorite places that you've backpacked, adventured, or guided?
Yeah, the first comes to mind, it's close to my heart, the Santa Fe Swell. Hands down, one of my favorite places to be able to explore, backpack, canyoneer, climb, bike, river raft. I mean, there's just so much out there. It's one of my favorite places, and it's dear to my heart because it was very close to when my wife and I were first married. We worked for the state parks out there as park rangers at Goblin Valley State Park, and our backyard was a swell. So on our days off or even the afternoons, we just go and hit a quick canyon or go and explore down near the Muddy, or it was so central to what we wanted to do. We were very much desert rats, and we wanted to be able to get out and just explore every nook and cranny. And so the swell has a lot to offer. It's just a beautiful place, and it's so situated in an area that not a lot of people are frequenting, which was great. Not that we're antisocial or anything like that, but it was nice to have it for ourselves. I mean, just us.
You feel like you can explore the area like it's not some well-worn tourist trail.
Yeah. And those have their place. I mean, a lot of people are drawn to like Zion, for example. Like that's a beautiful.
Well, that's some of people's first exposure. What we were talking about earlier.
Right. Yeah. So those are great places, but the swell for me it's close to my heart. And
for those that don't know about where's that located?
Yeah, so situated just right below I-70, more near Green River or Hanksville.
Yeah, kind of central.
Have to Google those maybe.
South Central Utah.
South Central Utah, yeah.
Yeah.
So just a wonderful place to be able to explore. I cut my teeth up in the Uintas. This was my backpacking days. No, I still backpack, but a lot of my upbringing when I was first started when I was 12 was up in the Uintas and the Stansbury Range as well. Which is northern Utah, western, like west of Tooele area. Just beautiful places up there. That's where I first started climbing, as well as the Stansbury Range and over in the Little and Big Cottonwoods Canyons. And so, those are places that are dear to my heart. Anywhere on the river is amazing. The mountain. I mean, there's wrinkles in the topography. That's where I want to be. It's great to be able to. I mean, Utah lends itself to so many places. I mean, Utah in general is a favorite place. Yeah. There is a dear place in my heart in the White Mountains in New Hampshire. Like it's just the Presidential Range is very dear to my heart as well. It's just amazing experiences with just good people in those ranges. Yeah. So.
I like that. You said something that's almost like John Muir type quote for me. If there's wrinkles in the topography, that's where I want to be.
No, I love it.
I need to put that on an SUU Outdoors shirt.
No, it's just it's exciting for me to be able to explore it and explore the hills. A lot of that came from my grandfather and I. We hung out a lot when I was young, and he introduced me to the mountains. Ultimately, he was very much a mountain man. Did a lot of rock hounding over by Notch Peak and the West Desert near Delta, and just these kind of really obscure places to a lot of folks, but just beautiful places that are near and dear to my heart. There's obviously internationally, there's a lot of great places. My family and I, we did a trip on an island off the coast of Barcelona called Menorca. It's a very long story, but how we were able to get there. But we were able to go on this kind of a shoot from the hip trip of going circumnavigating this island as this trail that navigates the island, circumnavigates the island rather.
I think you're describing my next family trip. So
yeah,
keep
you
going.
should. It's awesome. But yeah, it was just it's called the Camí. I don't know Catalan, but it's Camí de Gavia. It's like the way of the horse. Someone else can translate that better than I can. But it's about 130 miles, and we hiked it. We kind of section hiked it, and it was a really powerful experience. And that's a place that's powerful to very important and special to my older kids, especially because they were able to go. And
how many days did it take you to do that?
It took us. We were there for how many weeks were we there? A couple. I guess cumulatively it took us probably like 2 or 3 weeks. So we took some breaks in between.
2 weeks of backpacking, camping.
Yeah, we did. We kind of centralized. So it was more hiking, and then we'd come home and stay at a place sort of thing. But the experience was just unforgettable. It's just, I'd recommend it. Put it on your bucket list. It's beautiful.
Yeah, we're gonna have to chat after because my wife and I have been debating like, okay, what's some cool places that we can go?
And the off season's way better. Again, there's less people, there's less tourists, and it's great.
That's awesome. Okay, so tell me here locally, and it can be some of the things you guide, but here in Iron County, Cedar City area, give me a couple of your absolute favorite outdoor things to do, or hikes or adventures.
Yeah, if it's specifically to Cedar City or just Southern Utah generally, is that what you're...
Let's start with Cedar City, Iron County area, and then we can branch out from there too.
Yeah, there's some great and again, like, I guess to kind of go back a little bit, the intent with SUU Outdoors isn't to be able to take like super crunchy granola people that are very outdoorsy, just them, right?
Right.
A lot of our intent is to be able to actually snuff that out, not to say that that's not a great lifestyle or good or bad or anything like that, but
just snuff out that perception that only
it's
kind of people
exclusive.
that are granola can go do outdoor stuff, that anybody can be introduced
and that's
to.
our intent, is to be able to invite new users, if you will, of people that might be intimidated by getting outside, and our intent is to do that. And so some of our favorite places to be able to take everyone, a lot of the hot spots for us, for climbing just up the canyon, we have Graveside climbing, which is a good hot spot. The Overlook area, just right above Bryan Head, is a great spot to be able to go. The biking is phenomenal here in Cedar City. I serve on the board for Iron Trailcraft, which I think you had Mac on the show, and it's been a pleasure to be able to serve with those guys. They're just good guys, and to be able to work with interagencies, BLM and Forest Service, and private landowners, to be able to access that. So our biking around Cedar City is just phenomenal. It's no wonder the state championships are down here.
Over at Three Peaks.
At Three Peaks, yep. We just got finished kind of resurrecting a little bit of a lot of section of Blowhard, which starts at the top of Bryan Head and comes down right to Graveside, that climbing area. So those are two great spots. We have some fun family-oriented hiking down in Spring Canyon and Canaryville Falls area. And again, west of Cedar City. Three Peaks lends itself to they have a lot of RC planes and tracks out there. There's a shooting range out there. I mean, there's so much that isn't just exclusive to just the crunchy granola folks. There's recreation has a lot of forms, and we're open to that. We welcome that. So those Thunderbird Gardens, I was going to mention that. Those are some great places for disc golf and for hiking and biking.
There's even rappelling over there at Thunderbird.
Yeah, there's a few sections of rappelling over there. Yep. So, just great areas up Parowan Canyon. There's some great canyoneering up there. Benson Creek. There's some great hiking to be able to do up there. So, and of course Bryan Head, the skiing up there and the mountain biking up there is just it's great. We are so situated in such an amazing place where literally today I could go skiing this morning, and this afternoon I can go biking just down the road, and then go to St. George and go climbing, or just stay up local, like where we're at. Especially this year, it's kind of this funky weather, but we're situated in such an amazing an area that we have so many options to be able to recreate. We have no excuse for not getting outside.
When you talked about Blowhard last, I think it was last fall, my buddy and I were going to go. We went to ride Blowhard. We parked a car at the bottom, went to the top, and we're just going to bomb it down. Yeah. And my brakes, first time I had hydraulic brakes. So I'm a cheapskate. So I've been riding a 26-inch wheel hardtail since I was a kid, pretty much. And it wasn't until like a few years ago I finally got a full suspension bike, with the hydraulic disc brakes and all that. And anyways, so being naive, my hydraulic disc brakes, I had to like pump them a couple times, kind of get them going. And I'm like, no problem. So we went to the top of this, and I'm going down, and I'm pumping my brakes, and I'm like, they're not doing nothing. And so I'm coming around this curve, and instead of curving around, I just go straight off. And luckily there was just like a field in front of me, and I'm like, and just kind of totally wrecked in a very comical way. I really wish it was on video. It's something like out of a sitcom. Sure. But what I had to do the whole rest of the trail was just put my dropper posts all the way down, sit my butt so far back on the steep stuff, and then just lightly nudge my front
Yeah,
brakes
sure.
the way down. It wasn't the bomb that bomb down the hill that we
Just drive to
planned
survive.
it
Yeah.
to do. Yeah. And I don't know if it was blowhard, but there was some trails. So my wife and I do a lot of trail running and stuff too. I think it might have been blowhard. There's a trail when you go up to the top, it connects down into Ashdown Gorge. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
Is that Dark Hollow or no? You're thinking, trail running like Potato Hollow or Crystal Springs area.
Yeah, like we parked way up at the top.
Ashdown. Sorry, Rattlesnake Creek.
Yeah, Rattlesnake. That's the one.
Right.
Yeah, we trail ran Rattlesnake all the way down to Ashdown Gorge, and then you can't really run in Ashdown Gorge,
Sure.
but Ashdown Gorge was. I mean, well, first of all, I should say the Rattlesnake Trail. It was gorgeous. You're just in these wooded areas, and then you have these openings where you just see all the landscapes, Red Rock, etc.
Yeah,
whatever.
Cedar Breaks is right there to show off. Yeah, it's great.
It's just incredible. Sure. And then when you drop into Ashdown Gorge, it's almost like a mini Narrows. You're kind of hiking through the water. And I've talked to a lot of different people, even locals that have been here forever. They don't know that there's these, you can hike off these little jaunts to 2 different waterfalls. And maybe there's more, but it was just an epic trail run for us. And we did the same thing where we parked a car at the bottom, parked a car at the top. And just a trail run that, and you can hike it or whatever you want. But anyways, I don't know.
Yeah, we're spoiled rotten. Again, like it's the Ashdown Gorge is 10 minutes from Cedar, and
it's just
you can
right
just
there.
do a quick out and back, or just like you were saying, go up to Rattlesnake, which just kind of skirts right on the outside of the monument there, and you're able to kind of see, you're able to see. Front row of Cedar Breaks in a unique way, and it takes you down to this gorge of Ashdown, and it's beautiful. You can really get lost in a good way up there. There's a lot to be able to offer up Cedar Canyon. It's awesome.
So what is your favorite trail in this area? We talked about San Rafael, which is just the swell, which is a little north of us in central Utah, but right here in the Cedar Iron County area, what's your favorite trail to hike or bike or whatever?
Yeah, I guess a lot of them they're great. I mean, a lot of them they're near and dear to my heart because I helped build some of them and was able to plan some of those. But not to gloat or anything like that. But it's great to be able to be a part of a community, to be able to help develop this and be a part of that. So some of them are great. I mean, quick hits, anything from on Southview are just great, both for biking and for trail running and for just hiking. Blowhard, like I mentioned, like right now it is riding the best it's ever ridden in a lot of years.
Actually, when I rode it, I saw some of the last fall, some of the work being done.
Right. Yeah. Our crew was up there this summer, and it was great. It was good. It's just
maybe it was late summer.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah. Thunderbird Gardens lends itself to a lot of great biking and hiking as well, and just kind of scrambling on rocks. You can throw a lot of disc out there as well, and those are just close, quick hits that are fun. And then again, anything up. Parowan has some up near Parowan. There's some Valentine's Peak is not for the faint of heart, but it's a beautiful one. I'll be able to get up there. And then up near Bryan Head, Louder Ponds area, or Bunker is a great one to be able to ride. Yeah. That's right, kind of on the cusp of Bryan Head, just coming off of Sydney Valley Peak right there. But Dark Hollow, which drops you right down back into Parowan. I mean, there's a lot of great trails that are our favorites. It just depends on which one which method I'm using to be able to go. But all of them are great. I mean, really, there you can't lose. I mean, Cedar really has a lot of great trails to be able to offer, and for lots of different skill levels as well. If you're getting after it, Bryan Head and Blowhard, Bunker, Dark Hollow, those are great. If you're not super wanting to get after it, there's some other ones that are not as technical or not as fast or whatever, but we have it for everybody. That's the beautiful part about Cedar City is there's something for everybody.
So I'm gonna do something that's probably gonna be like choosing your favorite child, but tell me if you were to rank your favorite outdoor activities, like top 5 around here, what are your personal favorite outdoor activities to do?
Top 5, biking in no particular order.
No, you got to rank them. You got to rank them.
All right.
I'm going to make it hard on you.
I don't know. It depends on the season. Like right now, I mean, if it was snow, I'd be skiing.
Okay,
like,
go no particular order. Yeah,
okay,
that's a good point.
Order.
Yeah.
Yeah, but skiing, biking, I love river rafting. That's a little bit farther. You can still get up. Like I think our closest is the Cedar. That's more creeking, but which is still river rafting in a way, but it is. But yeah, being on a boat, being on skis. Trail running, I also enjoy that. Backpacking as well. So I'd say those would probably be my top 5: is biking, skiing, rafting, backpacking, hiking.
If you could only live with one outdoor activity,
oh man, you
what
can't say
would it
that.
be? I know. I'm telling you. I'm like making you choose your favorite child.
I wouldn't be living.
Would it be backpacking because it goes to the roots of
backpacking?
What
is my
started
roots.
it all?
Yeah, backpacking is a lot of my roots, and so I'd say backpacking would be like the ultimate. If I mean, it can be the I don't know, I shouldn't say least expensive, but easiest to get into. I mean, you can just start walking, really, and just start walking, and you'll find yourself in some cool places.
I told you I was going to try to make you like choose your favorite child.
Okay.
So that's very difficult.
They're all good. They're all fun, and I trying to be able to find time for all of them is the tricky part. But seasonally, I mean, skiing and climbing and backpacking and biking. I mean, try to be able to do it all if I can, but I may not be good at any of it, but I still enjoy doing it regardless.
Okay, I'm gonna do just a couple more little quiz questions for you, and then I want to dive more into SUU Outdoors, your programs and things you do. For students who are coming to SUU, who are maybe new to the area, or even for people that have moved here or visiting the area or new to the area, what are maybe and let's maybe think along the lines of national parks, hiking, or national monuments. What are maybe like the top 3 or 5 recommendations that you would give to people to go out and explore and adventure?
Yeah, the closest to home right now is just going up the canyon to Cedar Breaks. Is low-hanging fruit. Super beautiful up there. You have plenty of easy, very palatable hikes that are right along the rim, so you can look down in. There's really easy hikes that are coming up from below that you can look back in. It's low-hanging fruit. It's literally like 15 minutes from our house.
Yeah, Red Rock Green.
Right.
They have a flower festival or something as well?
I believe so. The Wildflower Festival they do. I'm not sure which months that exactly, but it's during the spring, summer time. But yeah, they have they just built that new lodge up there. So it's a quick, easy, scratch the itch fix of being able to get outside and being able to see some pretty amazing landscape. Zion, you can't beat Zion. Zion is just it's a beautiful area. Trying to be able to go in the off season is probably the better bet, I'd say. I mean, it's obviously the tourist season during the summer, and I say tourist season in a good way. A lot of people want to be able to see this. It's a world renowned area. It's beautiful. And it's in our backyard. It's 45 minutes from here. That's a treat.
And 15 minutes to the Colop Canyon section.
Right. Yes, that's right. So just down the road, down near Canaryville, we start seeing like the New Harmony area. We're being able to see the northern area of Zion National Park, which is, of course, Colop you mentioned. Great climbing down there as well. Great backpacking. It's just a phenomenal landscape that we're spoiled with. It's literally our backyard, and we take it for granted so many times. But yeah, those are 2 I'd start with. Reaching out a little bit farther, we have some state parks that are in our region. That I guess even close to home. We have I'm forgetting the name of Snow Canyon State Park.
Oh yeah.
Just down the road we have
County.
Yep, in Washington County. Red Cliffs Reserve, which is just down the road, just south of Leeds. And then as far as national parks, we have over in Nevada. That's a couple hours away, but let's see. We have I'm trying to think of other ones that are kind of closer to home. One of my favorites, Capitol Reef. I mean, that's two hours, depending on how heavy your foot is, right? But 2 hours away, 2.5 hours away.
It's probably, I don't know if the most unappreciated is the right word, but it's the one that gets almost the least amount of like fanfare, and for me feels more I can explore a little bit more. It's
Sure.
not crazy like
This is Capitol Reef you're talking about.
Capitol Reef. It's not as busy as Zion and
Sure.
and some of these other ones, but Capitol Reef, quaint is probably the feeling, or I don't know how to explain it. But
Yeah, I think.
how would you describe it?
Capitol Reef to me is a sleeper. It's my favorite national park, hands down. The reason why I think it's such a sleeper is because it's so elongated, and a lot of that what the tourist or see or the layperson is going to see is just kind of the belt of it between Fruita and around Fruita right there, and not Teesdale, Torrey, that Torrey area. You're only seeing kind of the belt, right? So you have a lot of great history there. There's some great hikes you can kind of spider out from the belt of it. But the treat is kind of the rest of it. I mean, you go down Nodum Road and you have these, situated right between the Henry Mountains and the reef right there. And the park is situated in such a way that you have to kind of get after it. You have to put some time in to be able to get out there.
Right.
To be able to really enjoy it. And so that's, I'm not calling anyone lazy, but it's easier to be able to kind of just go through the belt of it and see like the hot spots that this main road goes through. But if you want to see Capitol Reef, you got to earn it. Really, there's a lot of, it's so rich with an amazing landscape that lends itself to, you got to work for it. You got to get out there on your feet.
That's exactly what I was getting at. Is like it has this quaint little main road, but really has all this opportunity for exploration that's beyond what people realize.
Right. Yeah. A lot of people think it's just this like what they see on that main road. But it's a pretty expansive park. Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, and then there's also Bryce Canyon. Which
Bryce.
Is not too far from us here.
About an hour and a half from here. We were just there this last weekend. It was beautiful there. And very approachable, easy hikes.
Yeah.
Even during the winter, you can still go down to the Queen's Garden area and explore down there, or stay above the rim if you want to be able to not get winded or anything like that. Albeit it is pretty, it's pretty, not too high in elevation, but expansive landscape out there. You can look all the way out to Powell Point, and
when it's dusted with snow in the winter,
it's gorgeous.
So cool.
Yeah, it's super beautiful. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, let's maybe shift gears then into a little more about SUU Outdoors and what it is you guys do. So I'll kick it off with one thing that I know you do. When I first moved here, my wife is a professor at SUU, and she had the opportunity to go on a river raft trip, which was ironic because she said, this river raft trip is where we just moved from. Because it was in San Juan County. Yeah. And I'm like, I think you should go. We had rafted some of it, but not multi-day. And I'm like, I think this sounds like once in a lifetime kind of opportunity. Maybe you might have other opportunities to go. But anyways, we talk about that because that specifically is for new faculty. Yeah. This river raft trip, and you do river raft trips for others. But will you talk about that program? Because that was such a cool concept.
Our river program's relatively young. It's about 7-8 years old right now. It was kind of conjured up with the beginnings of it was an SUU Outdoors the ORPT professor and a student and our current assistant director, Jake Manning and Levi Pendleton. They kind of had and obviously there's more stakeholders within this, but they were kind of the ones that kind of started like, hey, we should do this, and they were kind of doing some more PT trips and some kind of daily and some personal trips. Not daily trips, but they were enthusiastic about getting out on the rivers, right? And a long story short, I do want to be able to mention somebody who was very catalytic within that, but our river program has really come from, again, relatively new, and over the years we were going to these other places, and one of our dear friends to the university, his name's Kay Harris, was working with, had a permit on the San Juan, and wanted to be able to. He was kind of wanted to be able to sell the permit and allow SUU to be able to use that permit. So SUU jumped on it wisely, especially during a time where it probably wasn't the best time, but it was the perfect time in the same way. Yeah. And since then, we've been able to really develop that program as an offering to our students specifically first, and then obviously the rest of our the SUU community and Cedar City and the like, and anybody that we are a livery that is for hire. So if you're looking to be able to get on the San Juan, we'd love to take it. But
describe that trip a little bit and what you do.
Yeah,
on that.
so a lot of it. So there's a couple ways we go about it. We typically do an upper or a lower San Juan. The San Juan is situated, if you guys know where your Google Bluff.
Yeah.
It's not a really well-known.
Southeastern.
Yeah,
Utah.
southeastern Utah. So we either have an upper or a lower section. So typically we do a 3 or 4 day upper section that goes from right near Bluff down to Mexican Hat. Or we'll put in at Mexican Hat and take out what's called Clay Hills. And it's either a 3 to 4 day on the upper or a 4 day on the lower. Mm-hmm. Or there's been some instances we kind of run the whole thing, so it's about a week.
Oh, wow.
But typically for this particular program, you're asking about the faculty program. The design behind that is to be able to have new hires, new faculty coming in, to be able to let them know what we value, and to be able to to let them understand that we value the concepts of experiential education, connecting people with people, connecting people with place, connecting people with purpose, and having great conversations on the river about what resources they have and kind of melding them into our community. You'll see typically faculty, and I can't completely speak about faculty. I serve as an adjunct here and there, but
sure.
But you'll see in the faculty, in their formal training or their formal kind of the first week they're there, you'll be able to see distinctively the folks that were on the river trip in those meetings, where they're built-in friends. They have built-in colleagues already, and it's a great transition for them to be able to come and see our backyard and see what we value, and to be able to see what can be their classroom. Really, a lot of our intent is to be able to connect with different departments within the university, to be able to not change their curriculum, but to be able to enhance it. To be able to, instead of sitting in a room and looking at a PowerPoint and talking about how somebody else experienced and talk about rocks and talk about biology, we're out. We're touching the rocks. We're looking. We're inspecting. We're catching. We're catching
learning.
Yes, experiential learning at its best. And so to be able to give them a taste of what their classrooms can be, and let us do that heavy lifting. Our intent is to be able to serve as a catalyst for that, but also a subsidy in the sense that these faculty can take these students and let us do the heavy lifting. Let us figure out the permits and the food and the method of the madness to be able to get them to these outdoor labs and have the curriculum be a deeper understanding. The more senses we're hitting, a lot of my grad program was talking about how the brain works and how we learn and how we connect with different concepts. And the more senses that we're tapping into as we learn, the more of a deeper understanding we have for each of the concepts that are being taught. And so our intent is that. One of our intents is that, right, is to be able to help departments and to be able to enhance that experience for the students, ultimately for the students, to be able to give them an enriching experience that they'll never forget.
Yeah.
They might be, like you were saying at the beginning, they're going through this academic grind of just wanting to be able to get the A's and the B's and the grades. Education is not A's and B's. It's experiences. It's being able to, it's how you feel and how you're connected to other people and connected to place. And that's what we're trying to be able to enhance.
Yeah.
We want to put the salt and more of the savor into the educational process. And also that concept of edutainment, right? They're still being able to learn something, but they're learning it by doing it and experiencing it, right? Versus just having a pouring of information. There's an exchange of information. There's exchange of experience, and there's a bond with that. You can talk with any of the faculty that have gone on that trip, or any student for that matter, and you ask them about that river trip, and they'll light up. Yeah. They'll light up, and they'll tell you whether it was a good experience or a bad experience, but still a good experience, a memorable experience, and what they learned, and it's very enriching. I think it's an amazing program that we provide our students that is not found anywhere. I know of that where we can connect academics with getting them out and being experiential in their studies.
There's been a few faculty that have told me that have never really done anything like that and went on it. Talked about their buckets that they had to, use for their restroom and then buckets for food or however you guys packed everything, but and just talked about what an incredible experience it was and how eye-opening it was.
Yeah.
Never having really done anything remotely close, and it really helps people see outside of themselves as well.
Right.
One thing that it really reminds me of, and I'm guessing you've probably read this or at least heard of it, is there's like this old school book, Last Child in the Woods. Yeah, where it talks about basically this connection with the outdoors, and you'll probably do a better job explaining that than me.
No, that's fine.
But yeah, and how the outdoors can enhance our learning, our critical thinking, and also bring lessen anxieties and things like that. Anyways, that's probably a poor job of explaining it.
I think you're on the right track with that. I think that concept of that book is to be able to get our youth away from, and ourselves for that matter, away, not that technology is necessarily bad. I mean, it can be a great tool. Just like right now, we're having this conversation. This is being broadcast in a lot of different ways. It's going to go on social media and things. Right, and that's a powerful tool to be able to influence and to be able to inspire, that sort of thing. It can also obviously be used for vice of addictions and being able to being addicted to electronics or phones or and it can really, I mean, this is a totally different podcast of being able to talk about the virtues and vices of technology, but that the premise of the book is to be able to the concept of the book is to be able to understand our innate nature and connection rather with nature, and having an appreciation for it and being rooted in that and staying with it. I'm somewhat of a Luddite myself, of like, I appreciate the technology, but
it's not your thing.
It's just that I'd rather. Yeah. I appreciate its use. I'm grateful for it right now, but I got what I needed, and now now I know where I'm at, or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, so there's a lot of great theory out there talking about experiential education and our connection with nature and the healing that it can provide us. And I don't want to get too gypsy with that or whatnot, but I think there's a lot of truth of being able to connect with our organic surroundings. And this is for everybody. Again, like I was saying, this isn't for just crunchy granolas living out of their van, and there's nothing wrong with that either. But the outdoors is for everybody. One of my a good friend of mine, she's no longer with the university, but she was on one of the faculty trips, and she was very hesitant to go on the trip. Very hesitant. Not an outdoorsy person, and she's amazing. Yeah. She's just an amazing woman, and very hesitant to go on the trip. Coming up to us, to the guides, and saying, "Well, what about this? And what about that? I'm not sure about this." And she went on this trip, and afterwards, I mean, some of the during was just hilarious. It was awesome, and it was amazing to be able to see this transformation kind of take place. And even to this day, she'll come and talk to us, and she's just a good, dear friend of the program. I don't know if I can shout out to Danica. You're awesome. Oh, so.
That's hilarious, because Danica is amazing. Exactly who I was talking about.
She's awesome.
About her sharing that experience and her hesitation.
Well, the thing I love about her, and I think is infectious, and I think this is a great model for our students, is try those new things. Yeah. Even though they're scary, even though they're like weird and it's new and it's you're hesitant, and there's like a lot of those perceptions and we're always victim to that, right? We allow ourselves to get in our own heads and not try new things, and or it's scary, and it can be scary, and that's okay. But you're trying new things, and you're empowered by that, or that I may not go on that river trip again, but I appreciate what you do, or that sort of thing. Yeah. We'll have her on another trip, I'm sure, sometime. She's amazing.
Okay, well, that's a great segue, I think, to this LEAP program, if you want to call it a program. Yeah. Describe what LEAP is. It's an acronym, and what its intent is. I think segues very nice from our discussion right now.
Yeah, and let me step back a little bit and frame it a little bit better. Yeah. So SUU Outdoors, the design of it is to be able to be a lab for students, and obviously a resource for students. So mainly a resource for students where they can come in and they can, again, meet new people, find a common adventure they can go on, meet new people, find a new place that they've never been, And we're doing this at a very low cost to no cost in some sense. And it's approachable for them. So we provide the gear, the know-how, the guides, the food, that stuff is included. So it's very approachable. So we have a trips program designed for that. A lot of our trips are free to the students. Our trips are specific to just the students because it is paid for by student fees and whatnot.
Oh, I
so
see.
there's that right there. But excuse me, we do have our river trip. We do have river trips that are for the public. So if you're wanting to be able to utilize our services, you can. But our trips mainly are for the students. We do have a rental program. So our garage that was just moved out on Main Street just this past year.
And did a great job remodeling.
Yeah,
That
so we
looks
kind of
wonderful.
retroed a building right
Yeah.
there and added a river house to that. So, but that's open to the public. We've been open to the public for the last 22 years, and a lot of people don't know that just because they think where we were situated on campus kind of made it a little insulative to the community. But we're open to the community, so community members can come in and rent the equipment we have. And then we have a challenge course that the public and the university obviously can use and rent out, and we have instructors and facilitators to be able to do that. A lot of businesses or therapeutic rec programs, church youth programs have been able to utilize that for the last 20 years.
Do businesses use some of these services for team building experiences?
How to be able
as
to
well?
communicate better, or how to be able to overcome obstacles, how to be able to how to build trust, or those concepts. And we train our staff to be able to facilitate questions, to be able to kind of prompt things and open up some can of vulnerability, if you will, and getting people talking and discussing about those. We're not there to be able to solve problems by any means, but to be able to get that ball rolling.
Yeah.
Sometimes we've solved some problems, I guess, in some sense, but yeah, the challenge course is a great venue for that. And then we have our LEAP program. So our LEAP program, it stands for Local Events, Activities, and Programming. And the intent with this one was to kind of do what we've been talking about, is to be able to snuff out the concept that you have to be this crunchy granola, outdoorsy type person to go on any of our adventures.
Yeah.
So a lot of the activities are weekday. Most of the program is weekday activities that are in the evenings that are low-hanging fruit, very approachable, short, fast, punchy, very super local, within 45 minutes of campus.
Yeah.
The farthest I think we'll go is maybe up to Parowan to Benson Creek. Not Benson Creek proper, but just what's it called? I can't remember the trail that goes out to the waterfall right there.
Oh, yeah, I know the one you're talking about. I've been on it.
No, it's not Mystery.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Maria Twitchell can remind us at some point what it
Canyon,
is. Yeah.
something like that.
That's
Sorry,
right.
Maria, I should know that.
Yeah, that's right.
It'll come to me. But yeah, just smaller, low-hanging fruit, very small. And the intent with that is to be able to connect our students with students, to have them find connections. Because really a lot of I don't know if you remember when you went to school, but you're trying to be able to find new friends. You're trying to be able to find connections or people that have the same passions. Or you're trying to be able to find new connections in what you're interested in, or you're trying new things. You're trying to be able to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
So we're trying to be able to create an environment that is inviting for our students, that allows them to be able to try new things and, again, connect with people, find new friends, and to be able to find that. I could make up some percentage, but
Yeah.
sure. So we can say 23% of students,
Yeah.
I don't know, some percentage of students are going to be more successful when they are making that connection
Right.
and being able to have a support system within the university, within their classmates, within their professors, within the community members. And a lot of other things, other intents we try to be able to do at SUU Outdoors is to create community events so these students are rubbing shoulders with community members.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you have community members, faculty, or others that kind of come to some of these?
Yeah, so we have a series called our Outdoor Education Series. We typically do it either twice a month, once a month, at least once every 3 weeks, that sort of concept of trying to be able to think of it as kind of like non-pretentious TED Talks.
Yeah.
Of
Non-pretentious TED Talks. I love that description.
Well, folks that are able to come in and do trip reports, or they're able to come in and and this is students, faculty, community members that have been able to come in to be able to showcase trip reports or clinics. So we've had Matt Bolas from Cedar City Bike Works come in. We've had Mac Urey and other Iron Trail Craft members come in. The folks out down at Outdoor Vitals, they've been able to come in and do some Dave at Cedar Sports. These are great partnerships that we've been able to bond with to be able to help our students rub shoulders with these locals that are success stories. They're just great, or provide opportunities to be able to let them see what they can be a part of.
Yeah.
So these nonprofits such as Cedar Bike Works, Cedar City Bike Works, Iron Trailcraft, Get Outside, and then other, like I said, other businesses, Outdoor Vitals and Cedar Sports. These are great models, and these are great folks to be able to rub shoulders with. And we're trying to be able to make those connections with Cedar City locals, with our students, so they can make that connection. We do have a cousin program, Outdoor Pathways, that does a great job in being able to find internships or opportunities for our students to be able to connect in meaningful ways of taking part and being, like we talked about, the theme of trying new things and seeing if I'll just do this quick internship with BLM and see if that's where I want to be able to go, or with Forest Service, or with this nonprofit, or this local business, that sort of thing. So that's our intent, is to be able to try to make these connections with these local entities, so our students can have a more enriching experience.
Well, that last part, you called it was the pathways, right?
Outdoor Pathways, yeah.
When you were talking about just kind of highlighting what LEAP is about and connecting them with, Cedar Sports and some of these, Outdoor Vitals, etc. It's funny that you automatically went to pathways, because my mind automatically went to what you're helping do is not only connecting students, but those that are into the outdoor scene. Outdoor recreation and tourism is a huge part of Iron County's economy.
It totally is, yeah.
And so we're, a lot of times I talk about, workforce pipeline for manufacturers that need engineers and things like that. But there's a workforce pipeline for this tourism industry,
right?
And helping connect not only our students together, have new experiences, but also helping connect them with that tourism industry. I mean, Outdoor Vitals, Cedar Sports were both SUU alum who had outdoor passions. Someone with outdoor passions that said, how can I turn this into something? And Outdoor Vitals and Cedar Sports have both been great, successful examples.
Yeah.
But anyways, I love that, because it really, and that's part of why my Office of Economic Development partners with the Office of Tourism, is to show there's a lot that buoys up our economy, and there's a lot of opportunities here. And that's one of the main reasons too why I'm like, I've got to get Derek on from SUU Outdoors to kind of help see how these things really tie together. So
and again, our intent is to be able to tie that community, or the Cedar City community, surrounding communities, with our students, and letting them see what those opportunities are. The outdoor education recreation field is it's a 3 billionth growing globally economy type thing. It's a great, you can get into the industry with like you're saying, tourism. You can do with education, like higher education, or whether it's formal or informal, right? Guiding, you can work with a bunch of different agencies, U.S. Forest Service, the NPS, state parks. Outdoor retail, it's a huge industry. Outdoor design, as far as apparel and the equipment design, that sort of thing. So that's why I love the outdoor education recreation field. Is such a shotgun approach of being able to, and this is not a dig, but business is kind of like you do a business and then you can branch off different businesses, and that's a good thing. Outdoor education recreation is just kind of like this. There's so many branches you can take that are kind of within that same weave, that support each other and are very synergistic of what they do. Our efforts with what we do have been able to partner with these local entities that are doing something completely different, but we're very synergistic of supporting each other and understanding and connecting, and being able to connect the students with each of those in a unique way is a treat. It really is being able to see them. To see them network in real time is a treat of being able, and being able to see the students flourish in that and see which path they take is pretty interesting. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I guess to kind of wrap up, obviously, very student centric, but the public can go. They can rent kayaks. They can rent mountain bikes, ski gear, things like that.
We don't have mountain bikes right now, but the equipment they can. We have a lot of rafting
camping gear.
Camping gear. It's basic camping gear: tents, sleeping bags, pads. We have wetsuits if you're into canyoneering in the winter, or not the winter, depending on which canyon you're in.
Or if you want to go hit the Narrows or
those sort of things.
Like that,
We don't rent technical equipment, so we don't rent any ropes or climbing equipment.
Yeah.
We have some helmets and some crash pads and some climbing shoes, but just the nature of life-saving equipment, we just don't want to touch with that. But we'll send you on down to Dave's, and you can pick up a rope and harness down there. But we do. Any camping equipment you need. Rafting equipment, we have inflatable kayaks that are both solo or double, or tandem rather. We're situated, the address is 356 South Main. We're just right next to Imperial Window, right there. And then our base camp operations, you're more welcome to come visit. We're still in the student center. That's a great place to be able to get information of the local trails, what closures are happening. We've worked with Maria in the past of being able to make sure that we're in the know of other recreational opportunities coming up. Our intent is, again, to be an advocate, obviously, of the student, but for the community as a whole. We want to be a resource for the community as a whole, and to be able to support our local businesses, our local nonprofits, and let people know that there's good in getting outside and being able to be active in your community. And we're hoping to be able to get our students connected with these community members, to be able to enrich their collegiate experience and then their human experience. Yeah. Right. I'm a big proponent of all education. The university is not just the only source of education, right? There's so many ways to educate our minds and to be able to try new things. And the nature outside is a great teacher for us in a lot of different ways. So our intent is to be able to do that, to be able to be advocates of health and well-being. And we love our students. We love our community.
Yeah, it's great here.
We love being here. It's awesome.
Where do people go online to find more about SUU Outdoors?
If you just look up SUU.edu/outdoors, or just Google SUU Outdoors, you'll see our page right there. And you can kind of see our offerings, what we have.
Yeah, Instagram and some of the social media pages people can follow.
We do have a couple of community events that we do. We have in the third, let's see, I think it's the third Friday in October, we have our annual gear swap. Okay. We've been doing it for the last 22 years. Last year was the biggest it's ever been. We have that big parking lot. We come bring your outdoor equipment. And it's not just the gear swap sort of concept. It's just a community gathering of like-minded folks that want to get outside. And we also have a climbing competition we do as well, coming up here in March. And
I remember seeing that last year. That's awesome.
Again, and then our outdoor education series, that's open to the public as well. Those are going to be typically held at that garage location on Main Street. So come to those. Again, the intent is to be able to get our community outside and rub shoulders with each other and support each other. And
that's awesome.
Getting after it.
Well, to wrap things up, tell people why you love doing what you do, why you love it here.
Cedar is situated in such a way that we're so close to so much that we take for granted. I take for granted. We can get into the grind of work or the have-tos, and we don't take advantage of the need-tos, I guess, in a sense. We live in such a beautiful area that lends itself to getting and exploring and promoting well-being. We can get sucked into the phones. We can get sucked into the comparisons and the grind of work and the grind of school and all the other responsibilities. But we live in such an area that it reminds us daily that we can just get out really quick and do these quick hits, these micro adventures and it's so good for us. I love being in Cedar City because I think our community is, again, situationally placed where we can get to these things. But we have a great community that advocates for well-being, and I enjoy what I do because of the students that I serve. I enjoy seeing the students grow. I enjoy serving in the community. I mentioned I was with Iron Trail Craft and with Get Outside, these nonprofits, that the design of these is to be able to get our community members into the hills and into these wrinkles of and getting them outside and being able to appreciate where they live and realizing how awesome and an amazing place we live. There's people from all over the world that pay gobs of money to be able to come to our backyard.
Yeah. Take advantage.
We need to be advocates of that and be stewards of that and take advantage of it, right?
Yeah.
And get out ourselves, and that's why I love it. I love being in this position. I feel honored to be in this and blessed to be in this, to serve in this position where I can orchestrate in a way and set our students up for success in a way that's meaningful to them, and thereby create better community members that are advocates of each other and cheerleaders for the outdoors. And I love it. It's awesome to be here in Cedar City.
It's awesome. Well, that's amazing. Derek Bryan with SUU Outdoors, our director. We're so grateful that you came on, and I can't wait to maybe connect more on some of these fun outdoor adventures.
Sure thing, yeah.
So, okay.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks again.
Yep.